Hey everyone, I am back with another video. After my last set of videos that I posted, I had a couple people reach out to me and, say, oh my god, you're using so many brushes. And you're absolutely right. I used almost every single brush that I own. And it's not necessary, it's really not. And the main reason that I have so many brushes now and use so many is really because I'm lazy as fuck. I do not wash my brushes every day. I wash them, most of them, probably once every 2 weeks. My foundation brush I do wash every few days or so because it gets really cakey and it doesn't blend the makeup properly. So my goal for today's makeup is just to keep it simple, keep it easy. If you are just learning how to do your makeup or making some changes and never used brushes before, you don't have that many, certainly don't go out and spend $100 on some makeup brushes. I mean, it's not necessary. You can get a good look with minimal brushes or, applicators, I should say. Today I'm going to do my eyes first, of course, and I'm not going to do anything fancy or special, crazy, nothing. I'm going to do neutral colors. Main reason I don't have any plans today. I really don't want to take forever doing my makeup, and I don't think a lot of you have an hour to spend on makeup either. So I think I'm just going to do neutral browns. I'm going to do all shimmer shades because I feel like it, really. Usually I do like a matte shade up here as a transition and it looks really pretty, but fuck it, let's go a little crazy and do some shimmer, right? Why not? I am using my Morphe 35T palette. It's really dirty, but it's just a bunch of neutrals, golds, taupes, some purples in there. It's really nice for like everyday makeup, if you don't feel like getting too crazy or whatever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get going here and hopefully show you guys that I can get my makeup done within a decent amount of time. So unfortunately with the Morphe palettes, they don't have the list of colors or like shade names anywhere. So I'm not able to tell you. You'll just have to see, I guess, what I'm doing here. So you always start at the crease. And so for my eyes today, I'm going to try to stick with this one brush. This is my no-named tapered crease brush. So we'll see how spoiled I am now if I'm able to actually stick with this. You're doing the same movements as I described before, the little tiny circles and windshield wipers to blend it out. And you don't have to always have a plan of what you're doing with your makeup, like your eyeshadow and stuff. You can just kind of wing it. Go for it. I did it yesterday. I didn't take a picture because I forgot. And, I mean, it looked nice. It looked fine. It wasn't what I expected it to look like, but it still looked good. Okay, now I'm going to use this dark brown shimmer. I don't really have a reason to get all fancy today. I think the only thing I got going on is my maintenance man coming to fix my hot water heater. It's probably the highlight of my day. I know some of you can relate. I'm hoping that I can get my makeup done fast enough to enjoy a little bit of quiet time before the baby gets up from his nap, because he's been a monster lately. Okay, so I lied. I'm totally going to use my little packing brush. That's it. I'm not going to cut my crease or do any extra concealer or anything crazy, because we're just going to keep it simple today. Quick and easy. I really like having lighter shimmer shades on my lid right here. I think it looks really nice, but I mean, sometimes if you start really dark down here and work your way light going upwards, that's really pretty too. It just really isn't looking too fancy. Do a little more here. The nice thing about using colors like this, in my other video, I went kind of with crazier colors. Those ones you want to make sure you gotta blend and blend and blend. These ones, I mean, not so much. You don't really have to do that. So since I am using the same brush, you gotta make sure, you know, you get all the color out. So what I do is whatever towel I have, I just go like this a little bit to make sure the color's gone, especially because I'm going to do up here with a really light color. And I don't want it all muddy up there. I'm just blending this out a little bit. And this one is a matte. I don't want it to be too shimmery up there because I think I'm going to throw some highlighter up there. So that'll take care of that. There. Blend it out. So I'm gonna now go in with my Fenty Beauty Fly Liner. I used it for the first time in my last video, and I fucking love it. I love it. I don't know how I'm ever gonna go back to anything else, which sucks because it was like $22. And there's not a whole lot of product in here, so I don't think it's going to last all that long, but it's so great. It really is. It's like effortless. And if you're really running low on time or something, well, you really don't have to do eyeliner like this. You can just throw on some mascara and be good to go. But when I have amazing $22 eyeliner sitting in my drawer, I mean, I have to use it, right? Can't just let it sit there collecting dust. What kind of monster does that? I messed up a little. It's alright. That just means we're having a little thicker eyeliner today. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't do anything on my lower lids. So I think I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to use that small little packing brush again and just do the darkest color that I used real quick and just throw that under there. Nothing crazy, but just so there's a little something. Throw some mascara on, because that's a must. I think in the last video that I posted, I totally forgot to put mascara on the second eye that I did. I was checking over my makeup in the bathroom before going downstairs. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with my face? Well, that's what it was. You guys, I was so nervous in my last video. I don't know if you could tell, but I felt so stupid. But I feel a little better now because a lot of your comments and messages and all that stuff have been pretty supportive. So I don't feel like a big douchebag or anything. But you ever see, you know, like Facebook friends that are pushing 40, you know, still trying to be rappers, and you see their video, and I would never say anything negative to them because it's not my business. I hope they are successful. I do, but in my head, I'm just like, oh honey. You ever see How I Met Your Mother? The oh honey. It's just like, oh, like it's embarrassing sometimes, especially if they're no good, and like I cringe. So I don't want to be that person like, oh look at this bitch, thinking she looks cute. She's got this corny ass YouTube video, but whatever. If I start to be that like corny, annoying, embarrassing person, like tell me, so I can either knock this off or adjust what I'm doing, because I really hope I'm not embarrassing myself. Okay, anyway, so face. Lately I've been using this Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. I actually used two separate colors and I mixed them, not to be fancy or anything, but honestly I have 3 shades that I bought at all separate times, and none of them match my skin tone. So I guess I'm just really terrible at picking out the proper color foundation. But you know, whatever, this works out well. I'm mixing and my money's not going to waste, because that's the worst. So if you do come across as having those kind of problems for yourself, it's not the end of the world. You mix foundations. I mean, especially if they're the same brand, they're going to be the same formulas and everything, so they'll mix just fine. And today I'm using this Beauty Blender type sponge. It's not an actual Beauty Blender, because I refuse to spend $20 on one little sponge. They may be great. I don't know. I can't relate to that. So I'm using this. It's Beaky is the brand, and it's from Amazon. It's $8.99 for 5, and I got it wet. It's nice and soft. It's big. The end is nice and pointy to get into the cracks. I think it works great. Like I said, I can't compare it to the Beauty Blender, but I think it works for me. So, and I'm gonna try to mainly just use this. I can't use this for blush or all my setting powder, but I can use it for a few things. So just to cut down on brushes for you guys. And you just want to like bounce it onto your skin. I had one lady comment saying she can't stop her face from looking so cakey when she uses as many like things as I've been using. And for that, I mean, there's a lot of different variables as to what could be causing that. This is a full coverage. Some people, their skin can't handle full coverage, and they might not even need it. But, I mean, for me, bitch, I want to look plastic. I want to look fake as fuck, but still a little natural, you know? Like Barbie airbrushed, I would love that. Now, some people don't need full coverage to achieve all that, or they don't want it. They just want to look natural, and that's normal, right? So maybe try something that's with like a little less coverage, like medium coverage instead of full, or even like something that's a little more sheer. Make sure you're not putting your concealer on underneath your foundation. And also your powders could have a lot to do with how it's looking on your skin as well. I've looked into it because I haven't had too much of an issue with cakiness, but apparently if you have a pigmented setting powder, that could really cause it. And the reason maybe I haven't noticed having a problem with it is because I use a translucent powder to set my under eyes, chin, under my nose, and forehead and stuff. So maybe that's why. So if you notice cakiness going on, try changing up some of those things and see how that helps, if that does anything for you. Alright, now I'm doing my concealer. I'm just using the tip, the pointy tip, so I can get underneath here. And you want to bring it down into like a triangle, an upside down triangle. And you don't ever want to like drag this across, because it's going to screw up all of your foundation and stuff, and then it will look like a mess. So you're really just like tapping it into the skin. And the same with your foundation too. You don't want to be massaging it into your skin. It might have looked like that's what I was doing with my foundation brush in my last video, but I was being very light with it, and the brush bristles are very soft, you know. I don't know if you can tell. Like, they're very soft, so it's not like a hard, stiff brush pushing all the makeup around. Yeah, because then you're just like dragging everything around and all that. I started using a brightening concealer like this because I felt like my face just looked so dull. I mean, I'm 33 years old now, right? So I'm getting older and I need all the help that I can get to make my face look bright and youthful, healthy, you know, all that. So that's when I stumbled across, you know, the highlighting, contouring, that kind of stuff. And it really made a lot of difference for me, just to like brighten up my face. And even my mom, she let me do her makeup last time she was here visiting. And she was doing her makeup, I mean, pretty much the same way I was doing mine before, just using just the foundation, you know. And I noticed how kind of flat her skin was looking, just all one tone. So then I did this to her, and I used, my mom has darker skin than I do, considerably darker than me. But I used my concealers on her, which were super light, which looked really good. And at some point, I think I'm going to try to find a concealer that's lighter than this to have that same effect. But she wasn't too impressed with how long it took me to actually do her makeup, but she loved the results, and she looked so great. And it's crazy how, like, making one little change with your makeup can change your whole fucking face, change everything, you know. And if you feel like you're looking a little run down or something, change it up with your makeup. It could have, you know, a drastic impact, one little thing, and then that trickles down to your whole outlook on yourself, on your day. I mean, if you look good, you feel good, right? That's the general theory there. Okay, I'm going to set my concealer with some Airspun, and I'm just using my blender, just dipping her on in there, caking this on. And I like to let this sit for a couple minutes. Just put a lot on to make sure it really soaks it on in there. And again, if you have a lot of fine lines, this might not be the best bet for you, because it can settle in there and accentuate those lines. I do it because I want to set that light concealer. I need all the help I can get. And sometimes I like to really get in here in that crease, because even though this foundation's pretty good, I mean, especially for like drugstore stuff, it's the best one I've ever used. But ultimately, it's just okay. It's okay. It works. It looks nice for the most part. But I do get a lot of cracking by the end of the day if I don't touch anything up. If I wipe my face, you can see the foundation kind of move. So, I don't know, but it's not like I have, you know, a lot of people to impress or really anything crazy going on. So it's fine. I mean, it's fine. It works, right? So now for the rest of my setting powder. This one is a pigmented color. That Airspun is translucent. I don't use pigmented color all over my face. I just mainly use it here and here, pretty much wherever I didn't hit with the Airspun. And then I kind of put a lot on and then brush it all off, just to make sure it really gets in there, you know. That's probably why I always end up covered in makeup. But it's fine, it comes right out. It's perfect. And up until I got that brush, by the way, I was using, I don't know, the little thing that comes in here. It works just fine. You don't need a special big brush unless you want to spoil yourself. It is fun though. So for my contour and my blush, I'm going to use what I had been using up until recently. Same brush for both. Works, gets the job done. So yeah, if you've never used a Beauty Blender type sponge before, I definitely recommend it. It's pretty easy to work with. It's nice that you can use it for multiple things. You do have to wash it pretty much after every use though, because whatever makeup is left on there, once your sponge dries, it kind of cakes on there. And then when you go to rehydrate it to do your makeup again, it's kind of crusty and hard, and it doesn't apply the makeup properly, pretty much. That's that for face, right? No, it's not, because we need highlighter. The hell was I thinking? Okay, I got browns today, so I'm going to use this Anchorage color. And you know, I'm just going to use my finger since we're trying to not use many brushes, and I feel like I kind of use too many so far. So I'm just going to, can't really see it. There she is a little bit. Just going to tap it on in there. And again, this is the Jeffree Star Northern Lights palette. Oh, look at this. Shit. So what I am going to do, if I can find my little brush again. It doesn't count because I used this brush before on my lid, so it doesn't count as an extra one. I'm going to use the same highlighting color and put it right in the corner of my eye right there. Just as a extra little something special. And for lips, fuck it. We're going easy, so I'm not even going to do a lip liner. I'm just going to do this nude color. So there's today's makeup. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Just kind of like everyday makeup. I mean, you don't have to get crazy every day. You don't have to spend an hour every day. What are we? We're at 29 minutes. It's a little longer than it needs to be, but I was talking a lot. At least a lot for me. So it really shouldn't take you a half hour to get this done, especially if you have a plan before, which I never do. But so I mean, it's possible to still have nice makeup even if you don't have all the time in the world. I think one time I did my makeup in like 15 minutes. I usually use between 3 to 5 eyeshadows every day, and that's totally unnecessary. It's kind of overkill, but you know I like it and it's fun. So if that's not you, that's totally fine. If you want to use 2, go for it, use 2. But I think you should always have a dark and a light. The dark always in your crease, just to accentuate your eye a little more, make that crease, you know, a little dark, gives your eye a little depth, and then the light just to bring it forward, and a little shimmer, you know. Alright, and you know, I didn't do any eyeliner underneath, but it's fine. I put some of that dark brown eyeshadow under there, so I guess we're just looking a little more natural today. As natural as, you know, all this shit caked on my faces. But alright, that's all for today. If you have any questions or anything you want me to hit on, touch on, if I know it, I'll share it, I'll help you. Just let me know, message me, comment, do something, call me, because I think I pretty much just know everyone personally who's subscribing. So just get a hold of me and let me know, and I'll try to help. I was thinking of one day doing a live video on Facebook, and I don't know, that way you guys can hop on and ask me questions as I'm doing stuff, or we could just kind of bullshit and, you know, have a good time. So let me know what you think of that. If it sounds stupid or not, you know, then I won't do it, but just let me know. Alright guys, you have a good day. Bye.